When it comes to Deshaun Watson, boy oh boy, I feel bad for the guy because it seems like a lot of people were being unfair to Deshaun Watson. I understand that he got paid a crap ton of money. I understand that there's a lot of off the field issues that have led to the guy being hated by a lot of people in the NFL. But Deshaun Watson is a human being, just like you and me. And I think Deshaun Watson flatly does care about his image and flatly does care about winning football games, you know, and the Deshaun Watson era for the Cleveland Browns has gotten off to a very, very slow start. And look, I kept telling people that Deshaun Watson, there's reason to believe that he's going to get things right because Deshaun Watson was away from football due to off the field issues. It's not like he suffered a major injury. It's not like he's an aging player. He's still well within his prime. I mean, he's 28 years old. So there's reason to believe that Deshaun Watson, he was just super, super rusty, needed time to get chemistry with the wide receivers, needed time to get the rust off his belt. And we saw even this past week versus Baltimore on the road, hostile environment, overcoming adversity. Deshaun Watson was excellent in that second half. Outplayed Lamar Jackson on the road. Looked like the Houston Deshaun Watson that Cleveland thought they were getting. I didn't think that there was any reason to believe Deshaun Watson couldn't get back to his old self because, like I said, he just seemed like he was rusty. But now Deshaun Watson dealing with a shoulder injury, out for the season, you have to wonder at this point, is Deshaun Watson ever going to be the same quarterback? You have to wonder because there was reason to believe, okay, once he gets the rust off, he start to look the part. And I think we kind of saw that of recent, versus Baltimore, where Deshaun Watson in that second half looked amazing. But now Deshaun Watson has to overcome a season-ending injury. And he's yet to play a full season in quite some time. He's missed a lot of time. Now he's banged up. His body's failing him, and he's not getting any younger. So when it comes to this Deshaun Watson saga, I kind of feel bad for the guy because this is a guy that in Houston had the world in front of him, was playing at an all-time great level, and it seemed like he was going to be a lock for multiple Pro Bowls going forward, maybe could challenge to win a Super Bowl, and boom, Deshaun Watson goes to Cleveland. There's great wide receivers around him, a good coaching staff. It doesn't seem like he has to carry the team, but now Deshaun Watson's body's failing him. It seems like the expectations have kind of gotten to him, and now he's dealing with a season-ending injury. It really, truly is one of the craziest things I've ever seen. I mean, so the question now remains, can Deshaun Watson overcome adversity? Is he ever going to be the same player he once was in Houston? Or another better question is, can some version of Deshaun Watson still revert to a winning player? Because even me, I have to admit, Deshaun Watson was not all that impressive in a Cleveland Browns uniform the last couple of times we saw him. We saw some flashes, we saw some good throws here and there, but he was not close to the Houston Deshaun Watson. There was reason to believe there's logic as to why that happened, but the bottom line is if Deshaun Watson cannot make at least one deep playoff run for the Cleveland Browns, there's going to be some repercussions for that organization because they bet on Deshaun Watson and took a risk on him, and I was behind the risk, but now he's injured. And we don't know what type of quarterback we're going to get going forward with him coming off a major injury. So I'm hoping Deshaun Watson can find his footing again because he was a darn special football player when he was going right in Houston. I mean, let's not forget, people, Deshaun Watson had a huge lead on Patrick Mahomes in the playoffs back in, I believe, 2019, 2018. Yeah, 2019, 2018. It wasn't too long ago. Deshaun Watson was one of the best young quarterbacks in the NFL and seemed like he had the world in front of him. But now, major setback and major expectations are on Deshaun Watson's shoulders. I will say, though, if Deshaun Watson can overcome this type of adversity and deliver a ton of success for Cleveland or maybe win them a Super Bowl, he will be forever cemented in NFL history. So there's a lot for Deshaun Watson to gain going forward once he comes back. And he's going to have to overcome a lot because he's getting paid a ton of money. The roster eventually may not be as good as it is right now because they're paying him a lot of money. But there's a lot for Deshaun Watson to also lose. His reputation's on the line. And flatly, I think that a lot of people are going to realize that he's just never probably going to be the same football player if he continues to struggle. But there's a lot for Deshaun Watson to gain. Like I said, there's also a lot for him to lose going forward. So, look, I'm hoping and praying Deshaun Watson can come back and be somewhat of the same version of the quarterback that he was in Houston that everyone fell in love with. But a lot is on the line for Deshaun Watson. There's a lot for him to overcome. We'll see if he can do it. I believe in him, but only time will tell if he can get the job done.